This is my wife's 1994 Specialized Hardrock, and although it's built tough, it's not exactly the most exciting bike in the modern era, which is why in this video, we're gonna be changing that. I recently built my own dream vintage bike, and now it's her turn. The goal with this one is to turn it into a smooth and stylish cafe cruiser that's perfect for coffee runs, pastry stops, and all-around joy on two wheels. She already loves this bike, but I can't wait to see her reaction to these surprise upgrades. And if you're looking forward to that too, stick around to the end of the video to check out the final reveal. Welcome to Joy of Bike. I'm Mike. Let's head inside and talk a little bit more about this bike and some of the upgrades I'm really excited about while we tear it down. We found this bike about a year ago at a thrift store for only $40, and what caught Cheyenne's eye was the color. This bike had been repainted, but thankfully whoever did it did an outstanding job and they had great taste. But mechanically, it was rough. The shifting was gunked up, the tires were flat, and it just wasn't really something you could hop on and ride. So we brought it back here to the roastery where we gave it a basic tune-up, and ever since then, Cheyenne has ridden it religiously. So now let's take things to the next level so she can really enjoy her time out on this bike. And we're doing that with all of these rad bits here on this cart. And there are a few items on here that I'm really excited to bolt onto this bike. So let's talk about them. First up, we're swapping out that old 3x7 drivetrain with a simple and straightforward 1x10 setup from Microshift. Then it's getting a pair of Velo Orange granola bars, which will be mated to a 90mm Velo Orange Happy stem to give it that beach cruiser style stance. And we're gonna follow that up with a fresh set of these cream colored tires that are gonna complement this pistachio color so well. And then for the cherry on top of this build, which are going to be these lavender colored Specialized Hardrock graphics, which I think are really gonna tie the rest of these parts on this cart all together to make this build pop. Let's tear this thing down to the frame and get to work. We've got the bike all torn down now, and I've got to say, I'm pretty dang impressed with the quality of this paint job. I couldn't really tell at first if it was powder coat or spray paint, and now I'm kind of going between wet paint, like an automotive style of paint, and spray paint. But whoever did it did a really good job. In fact, I was really worried about where the front derailleur was clamped to the seat tube, that was gonna be all marred up and destroyed, and it's actually in really great shape. And another cool thing that I discovered when I was taking the bottom bracket and the headset off was pretty fresh grease, which means that this bike was definitely loved by its previous owner. Let's go ahead and start getting this thing all wiped down so we can get prepared to start building it back up. I've gone ahead and got the wheels completely torn down, degreased, and all cleaned up, and they're looking so dang good. I went ahead and got the front wheel completely put back together and re-greased, and it's spinning so smooth. But before I do the same to the rear wheel here, I do want to talk about something that I breezed over in the last video. And that's how we take this stock rear hub from a 7-speed all the way up to a 10-speed cassette. It's really straightforward, and I did a whole video detailing exactly how you can do it. I've linked it down in the description below. So go check that out if you're curious on how you can upgrade your stock rear cassette. Now let's go ahead and get this rear wheel built back up. If you're anything like me, you probably have a few extra bikes just sitting around, and now is the perfect time to let one go. Prepare for the season ahead by selling that bike or those old components that you've been putting off easier than ever thanks to today's video sponsor, Bicycle. Bicycle.com is the leading marketplace for pre-owned bikes. They have over 25,000 mountain, road, and gravel bikes ready to roll. What makes Bicycle awesome? Low fees, secure payments, buyer and seller protection, and hassle-free shipping. In fact, they even send you packaging materials and pick up directly from your door. And the best part, listing takes less than 3 minutes and their pricing tool will help you sell fast. For a limited time, you can head over to bicycle.com/joyofbike for an exclusive discount. And I'll also put that link down in the episode description below so you can get started today. A massive thank you to Bicycle for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. This bike is really starting to come together with all these chrome parts on this pistachio colored frame. And it's really starting to give me a feeling for what this bike is gonna look like when it's completely finished, and I cannot wait to see it. I know the second these handlebars go on, it's really gonna start coming together, and I'm gonna want to get it done as quick as possible. So before I do that, I do wanna give a big shout out to the crew over at Velo Orange who were kind enough to send over this stem and bar set. We are nearing the end of this build and I'm getting more and more excited to see the final product here. I think the next step in the process is going to be applying these specialized graphics to the bike. So I'm going to take a couple measurements here real quick, wipe the frame down with alcohol, and we're going to get these put onto the bike. graphics are on and they look so good. And if I'm being honest with you, I was really nervous about getting those on correctly, but I think we did it. So let's go ahead and finish getting this bike built up. I've run into a little bit of an issue with running the brake cable for the rear brake because this bike has a built-in cable guide, which is this little noodle here, which is unfortunately designed for cantilever brakes. So with the noodle piece that comes with the V-brake, what ends up happening is the cable that's going through this noodle on the frame, it's like pushing the V-brake arm all the way out. This side is hitting the rim. I've got to figure that out, and it's actually pretty late. So I think I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna think about it, and we're gonna come back tomorrow morning and see if we can come up with a solution. Right now, my only thought is either get one of the flexible noodles and see if that solves our problem, or take a Dremel tool and Dremel this in half here so I can get a straight shot back with the cable to the brake arm. So yeah, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna sleep on it, and then we're gonna come back tomorrow and see if we can get it figured out. That's how it goes sometimes. We'll see you in the morning. It is a new day here at the shop. I got here, I brewed myself up a cup of coffee, and while I was enjoying the first couple sips, looking at the bike, a light bulb went off and I knew I had the solution. So I went to work immediately before I even turned the camera on and got the problem fixed, and I couldn't be any more stoked. So there is a good lesson in there. If something is frustrating the heck out of you like this was for me, take a break and come back to it later with a clear mind, and I bet the solution comes to you pretty dang quickly. I'm gonna walk you through what I did to fix that brake issue. It was actually a really simple solution. Then we're gonna finish installing the rest of the parts. We have a couple little things to button up. We're gonna clean the bike up, and I think we're finished. So let's get to work. Let's quickly touch on how we solved this rear brake issue in case you run into something similar, because a lot of these vintage bikes have these brazed on cable guides that are intended for cantilever brakes. The factory cable guide essentially puts the cable directly in the center of the bike, exactly where you'd want the cantilever brakes to pull from. But that's not so ideal for V-brakes because we want the cable to route in from the side. So my solution was to take off the noodle that came with this V-brake and go with one that was a little more acute that I had sitting in my parts bin to kind of catch the cable line here. That essentially solved my issue, but there's one other thing that I did. Now maybe I'm just a novice here and I should have done this from the beginning, but I took apart another V-brake noodle and stole the inner lining to run through this factory cable guide to lessen the friction. This, paired with that more acute noodle down on the brake, was my solution. If I would have had a flexible V-brake noodle here in my toolbox, that would have been the most ideal solution, and that may be what we go to in the future, but for now, this works perfectly. Now let's get this bike wiped down before we polish it up so we can get it nice, sparkly, and shiny before we surprise Cheyenne. Well, the bike is finished and it looks absolutely insane. I couldn't be any more stoked. So that means there's only one thing left to do, and that is surprise Cheyenne and get her out for a bike ride on this thing. It's an absolutely beautiful day here. So I'm gonna give her a call real quick and have her head over here, and she's just gonna think it's a normal bike ride. She has no idea what she's about to get surprised with. So let's give her a call. Hey, what's up? Have you noticed how freaking nice it is outside? I was thinking we could go for a bike ride, maybe go get some pastries. What do you think about that? When can you be ready? You want to meet me over at the shop? All right, perfect. When you get here, text me, don't come in. Okay, so she's on her way over here. She should be here in about 20 minutes. Cheyenne just texted me that she's here, so let's go outside and grab her and do the big reveal. This is gonna be so exciting. What's up?
Hi.
You ready to go for a bike ride?
Yes.
All right. Well, come on inside.
Okay.
Got a little surprise for you.
I'm so excited. I love surprises.
I know you do. All right. It's
Here.
in here.
Oh my gosh. What? Look at the seat. And the tires. And the stickers. Oh my goodness. It's so cute.
I figured since spring was around the corner and you love this bike and it was pretty janky, so.
The handlebars. It looks like brand new.
It looks insane, doesn't it?
This does not look like what it looks like at the thrift store. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to shift. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about this. I love the bars.
They're so good, huh?
They're so good. It's going to be so much more comfy. You did good.
Thank you.
It's so pretty and so like all the details.
Well, let's go ride it.
Okay, let's do it.
First ride is in the book. What do you think?
It was so good, so different from what it used to be. a much smoother ride, and so comfy. Like my arms don't hurt. I was just chilling that time. So it was
Heck
good.
yeah.
Best ever.
Cheyenne's first ride was a success. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That was a
so
whole lot of
good.
fun. The pastries were also incredible. I'm really looking forward to getting out a lot more on these rigs and cruising over here. This is like 2 miles from our house, so it's a dangerous, convenient spot to cruise these vintage bikes to. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for cruising along with us, for checking out this build. If you want to see more builds like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I have a ton of bikes at the shop that we're going to be doing Restomods and restorations on. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you hit the like button. It really helps other people see the video as well. And comment down below what your favorite part of this build is. And if you're looking to do one of these builds yourself, let me know in the comments what you're looking to build. I always love hearing what you guys want to build. But with all that being said, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay rad.